Welcome back to Factorio SpaceX Extreme. I believe I've finally sorted out my long-running issues with trying to get decent audio. I guess we'll eventually find out. It's all a bit of a learning process when you don't do these all the time. And I've been a bit distracted because the game, quite frankly, has been a lot of fun and I have enjoyed getting on with it. I am just going to do something slightly different for now because this here looks a little bit annoying and undesirable. We don't have very many nukes, so we won't be able to do very much of this, but I may as well get rid of that while it's there. Meanwhile, this can just tick along a little bit further. Just because it's in the way, as soon as this is fully charged, we'll be able to go, there we go, we can go running at a more decent pace. Are they just down there, or is there a hive over here? Can't really tell now. I think there's just this hive. Alright, or maybe we'll come down here and just blow this up. That seemed to work quite well. Now this is what happens, we're only going at half speed, so that's why everything's moving so slow, but this is with all of the bonuses we put on our uranium ammo with the submachine gun, which isn't normally known as a particularly good weapon. Well, not for sort of late game bugs, but with uranium ammo, it's not too bad. So there you go. Oh, there is a little bit more nonsense down here, so maybe we should give it a bit of a move on command. Now that's the kind of guy that I normally just, I'm sitting on nuke and I go, oh, I'll just shoot this guy, and I blow myself up. I've done that often enough. In fact, speaking of which, it may be, oh, I don't really want to mess with that. It may be almost time for me to sort out a death resuscitation package. I think I need a steel axe, power armor Mark II, those two guys and the 6 legs, and somewhere to throw away the stupid gun. That's probably what I need for a resuscitation. How are we going over here now? 1, 2. I definitely think we can put a couple, even three more on these irons. That's copper. 1, 2, there's one waiting, but it's about to be 2 again. And I guess we're just lucky. Steel is filling up. There we go. Steel is filling up, so it might be going down there. There's nothing waiting there. Yeah, let's do this. So, I need to pretty much take my life into my hands, drive far enough so that I can get to about there. Now, let's go to the engineering unload. Get rid of that one. Engineering unload, off we go. Thank you very much. And yeah, so I've been mucking around with OBS, splitting up the voices into separate audio versus the game sound, and creating multiple files. I then have to put them into Audacity and I can change the volume of everything and whatever else, filters and so on that you want to apply at that point. I haven't actually edited one yet because I am so far behind in getting these up. It takes too long to upload to, and you know, maybe if there was a huge viewing audience, but as it is, it's probably consuming enough of my time to try and get one out every day. I just hope that you're enjoying the content. Hopefully it's a bit different to what other people are doing, but still something sensible and good in here. Not all... I'm learning I'm finding out the reasons why other people do certain things, you know, adapting them for my own use as well. So that's all kind of part of it. But this is really good. I was having issues with getting the game sound in my ears through the headphones like I wanted, but also getting my voice being echoed in my ears, which I did not want. So I'm glad that I have successfully got rid of that. Because there's nothing worse than trying to talk and you're constantly hearing yourself a split second behind when you actually say it, delivered back to yourself. It's very confusing, to say the least. Anyway, that's a good point to jump the train. Let's reload. So remember, that is our one little issue that we have. It doesn't do it automatically, but it's not proven to be too much of an issue, and having the multiple loadouts, I haven't used it as much as perhaps I could, but it's certainly a useful thing. Now, we normally die round about here, I think. So, what I want is, I've got stone bricks. I'd actually like a little bit of concrete. And maybe a little bit of that. Okay, cool. Stamp down some. Get a requester chest out. Now, I believe that I make these Mark II armors. I want one. I want two of, not 20, two of those, and I want 6 of them. And I also would like a night vision by 1. That should be... Oh, actually, I also want a steel axe by 1. Now, I don't think I'm actually making all of these things, so let's just have a look. What does steel axe actually take? Iron stick. Okay, that should be fine. We'll see what turns up. I also want to have a supply chest here for throwing garbage into. We did get some of that. I don't want it that big though. Whoops, not. Let's just okay. I don't know exactly where you end up. I'd have to kill myself, but I think that's basically the spot. Let's just check the network here for what's it called? Fusion. Nothing. And okay. I thought I was making such things up this way. course, it's quite possible I am not. Okay, there's the Power Armor Mark II and the bots, but I don't need to pick up bots. Right, we need to go down to the main base, check out what we are making in terms of convenience items down here. That's rail, that's nuclear, circuitry, weaponry. We don't really appear to be making it at all, which is very interesting. Alright, do I have processing units up here? No, no processing units. Alright, how many of those do we have? Just one at a time. I think that's okay. I think what we'll do is we will go down to the main base. We will set up the manufacture for well, actually, I don't even know if we need to set up the manufacture for it, because I might be making it for the this fusion reactor, although I might also be direct feeding those guys. Yeah, that is what we are doing. Gee, we've made 5,000 of them. Well, we've got to get up to 6,400 for the next one of these guys. This is good. If that is completely empty, I don't actually need those guys in there. If these lines are completely empty, it is certainly worth ripping them out. Don't want to kill this guy though. It looks like the belt is still there. That's not quite what I had in mind. And we're going to do the same thing here, but that's okay because we can, of course, just, you know, do this, pick up the belt. Not such a big deal. Get rid of all that. Get rid of belt down here. Slowly getting rid of the bits that we can. I don't think it's really making that much difference in terms of UPS at this point. But I guess you could argue that the main thing is it's not making UPS worse. It does go to show that we are using a little bit of these resources though. So, there we are. Now, let's get down to the main base as we intended before we got sidetracked. $19, I'm pretty sure that's an increase. $14.14, that's probably an increase. Oh, 36, so we are getting fuel cells ticking up still, so that's a good thing. So, fusion reactors. What we'll do is we will put in a requester here for fusion reactors. It will just be for 2 fusion reactors. A little blue guy and a bit of this stuff. Fusion reactors less than 2. We may as well do the same thing with legs, because I guess we'll be making legs here as well. Legs 6. Legs less than 6. And I guess the night vision as well will probably end up getting made down here. Night vision 1. Night vision less than 1. Okay, so fusion reactors, we are making them as part of the spaceship fusion reactor. So what we'll do is we will attempt to bleed off a couple so that we can have fusion reactors, and those background noises are just a tad noisy. So let's try that. That's probably a little bit better. I just need to make sure that we are able to bleed off fusion reactors. So let's make our passive provider this guy. Let's put him there actually. And this will be connect to the logistic network, enable disable when fusion reactors is less than 2 set. We probably need to wait now while this builds up to 250, because that's how many you need these days for a fusion reactor. As long as it goes over here, I'll be happy. If it doesn't go over here, well, for starters, I should probably change this red wire so it affects here. Oh my goodness, I've just about killed our reactor completely accidentally by leaning on the space button. I have killed this one. Alright, fix them up. Or is somebody else coming to fix that up? Robots, alright. Maybe not, maybe we have to do it ourselves. $193, that's now fixed. Okay, so ooh, that one doesn't actually have the red wire propagated to it. So yes, 22 of those remain. Right, what I'm going to do is actually remove the red wire from here. So these guys no longer have a red wire. Fusion, nothing. Requesting 1, deliver 2. Oh, we did get 1. So it is working. So I am happy with that. Whatever drain we are taking off the fusion reactors, it won't amount to that much, because fairly soon it will stop moving them, and that is fine. Okay, so back over here, what have we got? We've got some weaponry. What we need is the legs. I probably need to actually come over there. Be a little bit easier to do this than remote placing things. One side of the factory to the other. I probably should run down and get on the path that I have down here. No point building them if you're not going to use them. Right, here we are, and all the way over to our make everything area. So what's that? We're using about 17,000 robots in this area, which probably means that we've got some pretty good production figures right now. That is in fact over 500k, so anything over 500k generally brings a smile to my face. Only 13,000 steel though, that's odd. I would have thought it should have been more, but who knows what is going on in the mechanical mind of the bot controller. So let's come up here. This is where we were before, except we were in map mode, and now we are not. You are going to build mechanical legs. That's not very much, so I will just get a single one of those. Whatever that is fine. And this will be connect to the logistics network, and it will be if legs is less than, actually we're only going to need a handful, so if it's 6, less than 6, we will move things over to here and build more. I bet you I can't put those in there. I cannot. 10 seconds. Well, it's already sped up 6 times, so it's like 2 seconds each one. That's not really much of a big deal. Waiting on steel. Yes, we probably don't have any steel. So legs. The one other thing is night vision, of course. You can build night vision. Doesn't take anything especially difficult or fancy either. There's our resources. Copy that to there. You can have a stack inserter. You can have a normal inserter. You can connect to the logistic network, and if there is less than 1 night vision around, we will build probably just 1. Okay, there is our... if you die, you can recover and get back to your gear a little bit more conveniently. Apparatus. Let's have a look at our production figures. Why is steel so low? Let me just have a look at that one. Oh dear, we have something of a jam here. This one should not be coming around the corner and stopping there, so that is going to have to go. I forgot I wanted also to have a locomotive get built. Let's grab some rocket fuel. We haven't got any by the time I reach the rocket fuel supply. I'm just going to take some. I might just take some off you. There we go, that'll do. Kind of amazing that we can have the numbers that we did with such a hold-up being apparent. Alright, off we go. Hopefully this doesn't get blown up. If it does, I don't have any shielding, so I will probably be testing out my recovery thingy-me-jig. Okay, pick you up. Should I pop you down here? How far do I have to run? I think it is actually quite a long way. I wonder if we're in fact burning... Yes, every time we do this, we're actually burning a fairly significant percentage of our fuel, because it assumes that it doesn't keep the partially consumed. Ah, shit. Yes. Fast trains take a bit to stop. Okay, so we know that this is no good, and it needs to be one of those. Beyond that, what are you in fact? You are an iron plate. Why don't we go to iron plate pickup directly, because there probably is one. Or not, but at least moving that much will allow everything to move. So this one's going up here, presumably, probably to come over here. You probably could just about sneak out, couldn't you? At least, as you can see, we are getting you know, multiple lanes going together past this intersection. They're not all just having to stop and wait. Oh, this guy probably wants to come back up here. This guy probably wants to, yeah, he wants to exit and he wants to come out this way. So yeah, it could be a bit of a wait before these things are going to clear. Although, where's this guy going? He's going up. I don't actually have a guy just there, and I should have. Now, Okay, so my idea with this sort of slopey thing doesn't actually work. It only gets to this one and then it kind of dies. Which is why this one has jammed and these ones aren't going anywhere. So I am going to... Oh, he's moving now. That might just be good luck. That one's probably even worse. Yeah. What's production at now? 328, 511. Steel is starting to climb again. Let's have a look at it at 5 seconds. 24. Alright, well now that I can clearly see that this simply is not working. It's this one here that's going to cause me the issue, isn't it? But perhaps not if we remove... If we add double zone there, get rid of this as an axis, and this guy here will have to get moved back. Oh, we are actually out of steel axe. And that is one thing that I was going to make, but that I didn't. Can I fit one of these guys? Does not look like I can. Anywhere along there. I might have to get rid of this row altogether and put in yet another one of these things. 1, 2. Get off there. Do that. Right. These guys can come way back here. Yes. Beauty of the steel axe. At least the bots are not slowed down by it, so we needn't get too concerned. No, you need to go... can you go there? No, we need to pull... we need to pull this guy back. Never mind, that will have to do for now. This is so painful without a steel axe. But that is it. So where are you going? You're trying to exit and head down that away. That's interesting. You're a copper train. What the hell are you doing in here in the first place? I'm going to have to figure out why these copper trains feel like they need to do a loop-de-loop. It doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. Not sure where this guy is going, but I'm going to borrow him for a lift back towards the main base because we need to wrap this episode up. I am going to quickly add, when we get back to the main base, I'm going to quickly add the steel axe, which I'm actually going to make in the old base. We are coming down here, which is excellent because I want us to be able to come down here. Let's check production numbers, 292,177, so that's what, 470 odd. 27,000 steel per minute. Hopefully this guy's not too far off. 5,000. It can be a little bit slow coming from here. I may end up editing it out. You are going to be steel axes and oh, you need, that's right, you need also to get these iron thingamy bobs, these guys. Steel plate. And you, my friend, need iron plate. Probably don't need very many of these here. Stack inserter and one of them. Connect to the logistics network. We only want like 5, say, less than 5 set. Power, please. There, we're set. And the rest of those can be used down at our death facility. Triage, our triage facility. Because it's all about the recovery, not the death itself. Oh, I don't want those. Come on, get rid of them. So, triage, do you order in? Yes, you do. Very good. Okay, so we'll leave it there. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time when we'll return to doing this stuff, and most probably we will return to our ever-present issue around steel. Although that may be alright at the moment, in fact. We have a reasonable amount of iron and copper. We never got to build more trains, but never mind, there's always next time. Thanks for joining me. I will see you next time. Bye bye.